All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to learn how to animate your character. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so first we got to write a little code. All right, so let's take a look at the code. Actually, okay, so here's the deal. So here's what I want you to do. Obviously, if you have not made your pictures, you're gonna have to draw some pictures. But what I want you to do, for the sake of getting things done, is follow with me, write the code first, and then we'll make kind of placeholders, draw the pictures later. That will allow you to get it done faster. Okay. So we need to be sure to have our instance variables set up. We should have already done this, but let's make sure we did. So specifically, here's the ones that we need. Let's see, where are they? Oh, there we go. Okay, so we need to make sure we have this one. So we need to make sure that we have private int frame equals 1, private int animation counter equals 0, and private int animation delay equals 12. Okay, and you can change the 12 to whatever you want. That's just how many frames, every 12 frames he animates. Okay, and then you need to go ahead and have your image 1, 2, 3, however many you need to animate him. I have 8. You can have 3 or 6 or whatever. Now here's the deal. You need at least one image, right? So if you don't have all the images, just use the same image for all of these guys, okay? All right, so you need these. You need at least, probably 3 or 6 of these. 8 will work good. Okay, you need these. Okay, and then you're going to need your constructor. Here we're initializing. Here we're mirroring, and here we're scaling. Okay, so if you need to do any of that stuff, make sure you get that done. Okay, all right, so get your instance variables done first. All right, next, let's keep looking and see what we have next. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. All right, so we're going to start off. The frame is number 1, which says, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So frame 1 says, hey, we're going to use that image. The animation counter says, hey, we're going to delay. This has to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on and so forth. Okay, so basically we're going to go through it kind of act by act. So on the first act, it's going to go like, okay, that's going to go up to 1, and 1 is obviously less than 12. Then it's going to go to 2, then it's going to go to 3, then it's going to go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then, okay, 13 is greater than 12. And so the next thing that we're going to do is this is going to change to 2. Okay, so then this thing right here is going to say, oh, okay, we're gonna all of a sudden, boom, we're gonna use that image, right? And so this counter is gonna go back to 0. Okay, so it goes back to 0, and then it's gonna go to 1, and then it's gonna go to 2, and 2 is not greater than 12. Then it's gonna go to 3. Nothing happens all this time. We're gonna go to 4, so he's sliding around. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 13 is now greater than the delay. This is going to go back to 0, and then this is going to change to, we're on frame 3. The frame represents the image, and we're going to do this. Okay, so that's basically how it goes. Okay, all right, now let's take a look at the code to do this. Okay, so we have to write, if we haven't already done so, we need to write a method called animate. If you already have it, let's do it. So we have our animation counter plus plus. Okay, that's where this thing is going up, right? And then we have to say animation counter is greater or equal to delay. So that's where it has to be 12. I said 13, but it has to be 12 or greater. So 12 or more, and then as soon as it's greater than that, then all of a sudden it allows us in. So nothing happens except for animation counter happens every time. Okay, but none of this other stuff, we're going to go way, all the way down to the bottom. None of this stuff happens unless animation counter is greater than or equal to delay. Okay, and as soon as it does, this happens. Frame plus plus. Okay, so now we go from frame 1 to now we're frame 2, so that's where we're working with that guy. Okay. Okay, so frame plus plus, now we go from frame 1 to 2. And so then I have, am I moving right? Is that true? Because if I'm not moving right, I'm moving left, so I'm using different animations. So, okay, so hey, if I'm frame 1, then I'm setting image to image run 1 right. Otherwise, if it's frame equals 2, then I'm going to set it to picture 2, else if it's 3, I'm going to 3, if it's 4, I'm going to 4, if it's 5, I'm going to image 5, if it's 6, I'm going to 6, if it's 7, I'm going to 7, if it's 8, I'm going to 8, and at that point, the frame needs to go back to 0, okay? So we're starting all over, so we're basically saying, okay, hey, this is going to go back to 0, right? And then as soon as that goes to 0, we say, oh, look, our animation counter also goes back to 0. So this guy goes back to 0. And then it's going to start all over because the next time around we're going to say, hold on. Went too far. We're going to say animation counter plus plus. So okay, that goes to 1, and that's what's it. This gets up to 12. Then we say frame plus plus, so that 0 goes to 1, and I'm going back to frame 1. Okay, that's how to do it. Now look, I skipped a couple things. Let me show you some more stuff. So the thing I skipped was the whole if moving right equals false. So we have a whole set of frames for if you're moving right, and then if moving right equals false, then we have image run 1 left. Okay, and again, let me show you one thing. Now this is all big stuff, but again, this if, so let me show you this. So we have the counter has to be greater than the delay, and then we have, here's the moving right stuff. Now notice that bracket. This is all, even this is contained in it, right? So that's all part of it. So you have to get your brackets right. Okay, now let's look at this moving right equals. So now we have if moving right equals true, and you have all this, and that ends there. We have the next one. All right, see if you can get that. See if you can make it work, and see if you can get your guy to animate. When he does, it's going to look something like this. Your guy's going to going left and animate right. And so you don't really want to like this where he's constantly animating, but see if you can figure that out too. Okay, but that's a good start.